fine that you have a base station here, but you have to give money to us for our village to use. They did not accept that. So the negotiation broke, and then the three telcos turned off the signal. But somehow, the news revealed last week, and then made it into the news. I mean, when everything is under the sun, the village people, especially the chief of the village, kind of, well, they are not too threaten these three telcos to make a compensation, or at least in a more subtle way. Okay, not. But anyhow, the result is the signal resumed. Okay, despite all those disputes, all those health concerns of the signals of base station, but once the signals were turned off, people realize, okay, nowadays we cannot live without mobile technology. Okay. So that's a little bit follow up of the news that we shared last time. Okay, so we come back to our materials. That's a lot of to pull. Okay, last time we talked about while we were in the beginning of the introduction of telecoms regulatory framework in the United States, and we were still in the first section, the early development of the telecoms regulatory framework in the US. But in this stage, it was more like the introduction of the history, how the industry was formed, how the regulatory ideas were formed. Okay, so last time we talked about the telecoms services started as a private sector, but when we say telecoms services, at the beginning it was only telephone services, because at that time the communication was just telephone, and just a few years later, it came out the telegraph. But at the beginning, it was only telephone. But anyway, we just call it telecommunication services. Okay. Well, at the beginning, it was invented by a private person, Alexander Bell, and Mr. Bell, he later established a company called Bell Company. The Bell Company owned the patents of telecommunication services technology, and also the set, the telephone set that some people still have in our houses. And the later stage is the development of the telecom company itself. When the company grew bigger, it became a group like a business group, and within the group there are some subgroups or children companies within the group. So the group we generally call it the Bell company, Bell system, Bell group. And within the Bell group, there were, at that stage it was about at the end of 19th century. Okay, there were 1880 companies. There were 1880 companies, American Telephone and Telegraph Company. But keep this in mind, the AT&T company at that time was not the same as the AT&T company nowadays. Okay. So at that time, AT&T company in the group was responsible for the services of long distance. Okay. Long distance was like I don't know how to draw America. Just okay. Suppose it's a territory of the United States. Okay, so the long distance call or long distance telephone service was to connect from one city in the territory of the United States to another city. Okay. And of course, compared to the situation in Taiwan, it was more eligible to call it long distance services because the territory of the United States is much, much bigger in Taiwan. Okay. So, but anyhow, at that time, AT&T was responsible for the provision of the long distance services, and there were also, like for example, Bell Lab, which is a very high-end telecommunications technology laboratory. Okay, and there were Western Electric. I cannot remember the full name, but let me check. Western Electric Company. Wow. And there were like yeah, Bell operating company. Yes. So the idea of Bell operating companies is, well, at the beginning of at a very early stage of development of telecom services, the Bell company only provided services in some much higher populated cities. Because it would be able to make more revenue. Okay, if it provided services in a very low density of population areas, it will not get enough revenue. It will not earn enough money. So at the beginning, the Bell company only provides services in some very big cities. So, or in the neighborhood of all those very big cities. And these Bell operating companies are the companies who were in charge, who were responsible in providing services in those regions or areas. Okay. And then later, well, the company established its children company AT&T in 1885, and then in 1899, AT&T company became the head of the group, of the Bell Group, the Bell system, and it was called the Bell, which means the mother company of the Bell Group, the Bell system. Okay, and then the Bell Group, the Bell system, kept on growing, becoming bigger, and became bigger. But in the early 20th century, the patents of the telecom services, the telephone technology, the telephone set of the Bell company expired. That means everyone could use the same technology to provide telephone services. And then there were new market entrants. Trying to cut in the areas where AT&T did not provide services, and also into the areas where AT&T provides services. So AT&T feel very pressure because it feel the competition. So it began some kind of expansion. That means it began to buy companies. If I see I have new competitors, if I reach just to buy your company, so there were no competitors. So that was what AT&T did. That at that time it was called the merger and the acquisition. Merger means two companies to become one, to combine to become one, and acquisition like A company to buy B company, and after that B company disappeared, only A company left. It's called acquisition. So after the this era of merger and acquisition of the, or you can call it the AT&T or the Bell system, it become a very big company. Okay, but so well, maybe we should draw a timeline over here. But at that time, when AT&T grew bigger and bigger, the government